So strap in, guys. It's time to get ready for the article of the week. The article of the week this week, if you go into the Q&A, I have, or in the Q&A, you can check it in there. If you are on YouTube, you can always check it out in the description. I have the link there. You can go right in and follow along. The title of this is Campus Dorm Evacuated After Hazardous Chemical Substance Discovered. Well, that sounds like fun already. In Waltham, Massachusetts, over 175 students living in Brandeis University campus dorm were evacuated after a hazardous chemical substance was found on campus. The school said sodium cyanide, that doesn't sound good, was found on campus in the Foster Student Living Center, known to people on campus as the Mods. I'm not sure why that's even important that they put that in there, except for maybe for other college students who are reading the article to be like, oh yeah, that happened over at the Mods. Maybe. I don't know, though. That doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense. Waltham police and fire departments and a hazardous materials team responded to the scene and removed the chemical, the sodium cyanide. The school said there is no danger to the community and no one was hurt, so it was probably contained. Out of an abundance of caution, the 177 students who live in the Mods were evacuated. We anticipate students will be able to return very soon, the university said in a statement. Waltham police do not anticipate making any arrests related to this incident. Now, that's the very interesting point that I wanted to put out at the end of this, because, listen, this is illegal. This is a hazardous chemical. This is a poison. Sodium cyanide is a poison. It was enough to evacuate 177 students on campus, but there aren't going to be any arrests when something clearly illegal was in a campus that put 177 people potentially in danger just from its existence. I mean, I remember when I was on campus and somebody put a plastic 1-gallon bottle and they put like aluminum and a chemical inside of it too, and it exploded like after a short period of time or something. Like you have to leave it there for hours and eventually it creates enough gas to blow up the plastic bottle. And the kids who were found that did that actually did have the police come and talk to them. And I don't know if they got arrested, but they definitely were in a lot of trouble because it could have really seriously injured somebody. And that was a prank bottle in a lounge that was empty at like 2 a.m. This is an abundance of sodium cyanide, enough to find and remove from campus, that had a special hazardous materials team come to remove it. So this is no joke. Like, this is not like some like, well, they had some vinegar or they had some extra acid from the chem lab. This is like they had sodium cyanide on campus, guys. Nobody's going to get arrested. So what does that mean? And this has a lot to do with why college is not fair. And it goes to the life is not fair. This was being dealt with in-house. I just want to be really clear. This was dealt with in-house. So these kids are in trouble, for sure. But who they're in trouble with is what I want to talk about. Oftentimes, you will see people at school, just like at large in real life, politicians, movie stars, people all the time, they will do things that if you did them, you would go to jail, or you would be in a lot of trouble, or you would lose something, or you'd lose your job or something like that, or you'd lose your scholarship, you would be suspended, or you'd be expelled from your school. And you'll see these people do these things and nothing visibly happens to them. And that's very frustrating. It could also lead you to have this false sense that maybe you could get away with it too. Guess what? There's a reason why whoever it is that had that chemical did not get in trouble. So they were either connected politically, they were connected on campus, there's somebody very rich, there's somebody who is disabled in some way or has some kind of special consideration, etc. There is something going on that makes this case unique, aka not you. And so you would look at that and be like, wow, nobody got in trouble for that? I know who did that and they didn't get in trouble. That's ridiculous. It's totally unfair. So riddle me this. If they are able to do something like have a poisonous toxic chemical illegally stowed in a place where kids live and not go to jail, do you think anything's going to happen to them if you try to call them out? Just asking. Just asking. No. So what will happen, right? So you're dealing now with somebody who is connected. You're dealing with somebody who has a special consideration, and you don't, obviously, because you're not in the know, you're not in the in circle, and that's why you're upset about this. If you're in the in circle and you know about this, especially if you're at Brandeis, like, yo, what's going on? And if you're one of the people who knows about this, you're probably not upset because you're in the know, or is nobody's going to care. You will be upset, and if you try to come after the people who are involved with this, if they can get out of trouble doing something that egregious, what makes you think that they will get into any trouble doing anything to you? They literally put almost 200 people's lives at risk. Who cares if they ruin your life? Just keep that in mind. You can be upset. You can know it's wrong. You can know it's not cool. You can know it's unfair. You can know it's unjust. Know that, and don't make it worse for yourself, but work to do something about it. So what can you do about something like this? Well, I would challenge you to do as amazingly well as you can at that school, get connected, become very wealthy, and then refuse donations if they don't do something about whoever it is in the power structure that allowed that to get away scot-free. Seems reasonable to me. Use your dollar, use your success, become great, and make sure that it has nothing to do with being connected, or that you got connected, but it was of your own merit. See, here's the thing. The world is never going to be fair. It can't be fair. If it was fair, I think the world would be a lot worse for you right now, because you are already extraordinarily privileged to even be in college. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're thinking, well, I can't afford to see this guy for $50 a week, you're still amazingly advantaged, because you could go onto your internet, you could go onto your phone, that you probably have a smartphone, and you are in the wealthiest 1% of the world. So trust me, you don't want it to be fair, or at least you don't want things to all be even. Unfair works for you probably a lot more often than it works against you. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of perspective. I did deal a couple of times this week with people who were very upset that some things did not work out fairly for them. And that's always going to happen. And you have to be ready and willing and able to succeed despite things being unfair against you. I would argue it's more important to be looking around you for the unfair advantages that you have, and then really maximizing those advantages, taking advantage of the advantages, right? So that you can be ridiculously successful. You buffer yourself, you pad against the things that will come at you that are unfair, because they will. They will come at you. There are things that will come at you. But if you take full advantage of all the things in your life that are unfairly in your favor, that won't matter so much. It'll protect you from it. It'll take care of you. And honestly, you just won't care, because you'll realize the truth. And the truth is you're extraordinarily lucky. And I hope I've actually demonstrated that, instead of just telling you, don't you know how lucky you are? You're financially lucky. Okay, you were born in the right place at the right time. You have the right people who care about you enough. You got the right kind of education to get you into college. You're doing okay, right? Even the royal family has problems. I say it all the time. Life's not fair. It's tough all over. But you'll get over that. And in the meantime, you'll rock life, because you'll look around and see, like, wow, life's not fair, thankfully. So hopefully you do that. If you don't agree with this, if you still think life is unfair and everything's terrible, and yet you're still here on this video watching this, especially if you're on YouTube, I don't know your situation. Obviously, you're not a subscribing member. Shame on you. But if that's because you can't, then feel free, leave a comment, talk about it with me. I'd love to talk back. Otherwise, this has been the Article of the Week. Did you like that video? Did you find it interesting? Do you want to find out more about how to get more out of life? That's a lot of mores, and we can do even more than that. So if you would like to check out our website, www.collegesuccesscoaching.com, you can see what it's all about. I answer live questions every week. I have videos with experts in all kinds of fields that can help you to learn more about what they do and what you could be doing, and even more. We have resources on the website. It's a blast. So go ahead, check out the website. It's risk-free. 2 weeks on me. You're welcome. And otherwise, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get all these article reviews, as well as every once in a while, I'll do a live Periscope where I'll answer any questions anybody sends me throughout that time. So keep on keeping on. We'll see you soon.